What character is written to be hated/disliked but ended up being your favorite? Scar from The Lion King. He's one evil sob. Captain Hammer. Corporate Tool. Everyone's a hero in their own way. In their own, not that heroic, way. Toss-up between Scar and Judge Claude Frollo. Both multi-dimensional characters from Disney Animation's golden age. It didn't hurt that they were voiced by two of the finest voices in Hollywood, Jeremy Irons and Tony Jay, respectively. Claude Frollo was such a formative part of Disney's darker repertoire. He's an actual human villain, no need for magic or special power, just a straight bad dude in a place of power. I love him as a character and the impact he plays on the others, and if he was written to be annoying, I can't even feel it beneath the amazement at how damn good of a job they did at portraying a rapey evil man. Plus his villain's song was fucking badass, possibly the best Disney villain song. Dr. Facilier is what rises doubt in my mind, but Claude at least comes from a good movie. Count Olaf, and by extension, Hook Hands. Darth Maul. Yeah, me too, especially after watching all the Clone Wars episodes. Clone Wars is so dang good. Took this depressingly boring character that had a cool design but nothing else interesting about him, and made him into such a good character. Richard and Emily Gilmore, Gilmore Girls. Yes. So my mom and I are religious GG watchers. We're each other's Lorelai and Rory. However, as we've gotten older, we've both realized that Lorelai was actually kind of selfish and dramatic, and Richard and Emily, while full of their own faults, were not the villains of the story. That scene with Lorelai talking about Richard in GG, A Year in the Life, breaks my heart every time. I excluded details just in case you haven't seen it, cause it's one hell of a spoiler, emo. I think the Gilmore parents absolutely loved Rory and wanted the best for her. I think they failed Lorelai, which is why she is so hesitant in involving herself in their lives again, and why she is super jealous of their respect and adoration for her child. I think they wanted what was best for Lorelai, but when she failed to be the best version they wanted, they would reprimand her and make her feel terrible instead of embracing what makes her unique and happy. That's what makes them compelling antagonists to the story. What is so great about their development over the series is showing them start to rebuild that bridge with their own daughter, all while trying to support and encourage their grandchild. Princess Azula from Atla. Yes, well, at least Zuko had an supporting uncle. Azula had weird friends, her father and a mother who feared her and disappeared. No wonder she went crazy after everybody had left her. Gollum, he was just trying to get his stolen ring back. Yes, he does horrible things, but what would you do if someone stole something from you and then invites you to guide them on a dangerous adventure? I think you would try and get back the stolen ring. I don't think Gollum is written to be hated. I think he's written to make you pity him like Frodo does. Give you a real idea of what the ring can do to you and understand Frodo's burden better. I fucking love Palpatine. He has so much fun being evil. Always smiling and laughing. Such a positive guy. Heath Ledger's Joker. He's still absolutely terrifying and I wouldn't want to be within 100 miles of him, but holy shit, he was the best thing about that movie, and that's really saying something. One of my favorite details about his performance is the tick with his tongue. I hear that people can develop that tick if they're overprescribed antipsychotic meds. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Apparently he was doing it because the prosthetic scars constantly started coming off, so licking them kept them on. Hades from Disney's Hercules. He one's of my favorite characters of all time. Damn, he had such a good reason to be a pissed off villain. John Ralphio Saperstein. The worst. Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. He wasn't supposed to stay in the series, but people liked him too much. He was far better than Goku. Hey now, Goku's still the man and he's certainly a beloved character in his own right. I'll admit though, he's much more of a flat, one-note character. Vegeta, on the other hand, probably goes through more character development than anyone else on the show. It's weird that Vegeta was Toriyama's least favorite character in Z, considering how much time he spent on Vegeta's evolution. Gaston is a magnificent bastard, even if he's a sexist and illiterate prick. But his death was still satisfying. No one's slick as Gaston, no one's quick as Gaston, Hans slander in Inglourious Bastards. That's a bingo. The Daleks, of course. For being the deadliest things in the universe, they sure do have a lot of weaknesses. Namely, an emotional attachment in killing that prevents them from just attacking on sight, and makes them do the whole exterminate routine with needless build-up that usually lets the Doctor get away. Limited vision that lets the Doctor and or companions hide from them easily. No real sense of tactics. They just rely on shields and raw firepower. No stealth or subtlety whatsoever. An obsession with purity. They adapt when they deem it necessary, as they are good at surviving damn near anything, but the adapted Daleks always conflict with pure ones. If they didn't have this obsession, they'd be a lot more dangerous, and would be able to overcome the aforementioned weaknesses. That's what I like about Doctor Who villains. You sometimes wonder how these aliens even made it so far with how flawed they are. Same with Hitchhiker's Guide. Like, how did the Vogons even build those ships? It seems like they aren't capable of accomplishing anything. Handsome Jack. One of my all-time favorite villains. This is a good example of a villain who is truly evil, a douchebag, and literally kills MCs, yet you still like him all the way to the end. That's just good writing and voice acting. No, no, no. I can't die like this. Not when I'm so close. And not at the hands of a filthy bandit. I could have saved this planet. I could have actually restored order. And I wasn't supposed to die by the hands of a child-killing psychopath. You're a savage. You're a maniac, you are a bandit, and I am the goddamn hero. I swear if General Pong Krell is on here. I like his design and lightsabers, but Krell is a major piece of shit. Yeah, his lightsaber style is the only good thing about him. Cersei from Game of Thrones. I really could understand how she became as evil as she was, plus she's just such a cool biatch. Cersei was great in like seasons 1 to 4 emo. After that I think they flanderized her so hard that she just explicitly became cool bad bitch who everyone always underestimates. True, I loved her in season 1 when she was scheming but at times would show her vulnerable side. When she is telling Catelyn about her marriage to Robert you can see how she became so cold and calculating. Ozai and Azula. I just had a flashback to Azula in her last fight with Zuko, where after defeat she has a full-on breakdown. I remember feeling really sad for her even though she was such a ruthless character. Now that is how to write a character. You have to remember that she was only 14. To be so ruthless and unemotional at that age, she had to have had more of a backstory that we never saw. I'm so glad she was defeated, because she would have been a horrible leader, but seeing her break like that was devastating. The Always Sunny characters are horrible people on paper, but they are hilarious to watch. Yep. Dennis is just nuts, but I can't help but feel attracted to him. He's the reason I started watching the show. You've become another victim of the DENNIS system. Gul Dukat. Such a fascinatingly flawed character, so utterly unaware of his own faults and privilege. If he was born in the Federation he would be one of their top admirals, but he was born a Cardassian. Oh, that's a good point. I did like and dislike him at the same time. Especially in the last season when he screwed Tywin by pretending to be a Bajarian. He is also a pitiful character as well, and that can make him a big endearing at times. Win is a perfect example of a character designed to be hated and Jesus fucking Christ you do. Loki and Kylo Ren, they're very similar villains, if you can even really call them villains. I'd kill if they were written to be disliked though. Loki is clearly written as a humorous villain and even anti-hero at times, as a very charismatic baddie. The Ant King from Hunter x Hunter. Well, it wasn't written to be hated. The writer introduced the blind girl arc to show another side of him. Tywin Lannister. In the book Tywin is just despicable, although I didn't feel the same way about him in the TV show. Maybe it was the way Charles Dance portrayed him, but I felt he was much more fascinating and, while not an anti-hero, was much more compelling. In the books the whole Arya as his cupbearer plot didn't happen, so we didn't get to see the slightly human side of Tywin. That scene alone made him slightly sympathetic in a psychopathic grandfatherly kind of way. Balthazar from Galactica, the most irredeemable character I've ever seen, who in the end does get redeemed. It's Baltar, Gaius fracking Baltaffi, Magneto, hell yeah. His backstory further makes me love him. He survived the Holocaust. Alan Rickman's Sheriff of Nottingham in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. No more merciful beheadings. And Call Off Christmas. Alan Rickman in everything he's ever been in. Asian Dawn? I saw it in Time magazine. Tom Nook. Everyone treats him with mild disdain even though he's totally hooking it up on the housing front. Dude, everyone gives Tom Nook so much hate, but imagine taking out a loan with 0% APR and unlimited time to pay it back. Not one phone call asking when you're going to repay and no threats to go to collections. He's a bro really. Gus Fring. To me he ultimately seemed a more human, honest, and perhaps even humane person than White. I'm not saying he was good, but to a certain extent I rooted for him over White. Honestly, it was just insane. Just insane. How well executed a lawful evil character could be,